of our mics broke down. Like literally. Okay, so it's not quite true. I was I was setting up one mic and having a lot of problems. And then I go to my studio and I'm like, okay, I'm ready to go. Got the mic. And then it starts crackling, so I had to fix that too. So, anyways, it's not really an excuse because I should fix the mics before we come in, but that's why we're late. So, thank you for being here. Um, my dad is complaining he's complaining that he's banned from the channel. Do you guys think I should unban him so that he can chat, or should he stay banned? I don't know. You know what? I'll let the chat decide on that one, Dad.
Grace, if you can hear me, there's a tiny bit of crackling, but it's not that bad.
Oh, okay. Well, I'm here with my mom.
Hey
There's a little
guys,
bit of crackling. Okay. Well, let
just
me
a little
know.
bit. It's not too bad.
Let me know with the audio if it's okay or not. It's crackling. Shoot. All right. Well,
We'll just have the people who are listening let us know.
yeah. Let us know about the audio, guys. But we have a very special stream for you today. Seamus says keep him banned. Well, I think I'm gonna have to disregard anything Seamus says because Seamus is a total hater and troll. So I don't know. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. We'll see. This guy is here.
YouTube videos by this woman, she was talking about like narcissistic mothers, and I just kept watching them and watching them and watching them, and for some reason it just made me feel better. Like I don't know, I was really happy about it that it started to like things started to kind of uh unloosen or something in my brain. So that was what I did.
Yeah. Well, both of us have been recently trying to deal with our issues with our mothers. Me with you, and
Mhm.
you with your mom.
Mhm.
And you haven't really done it. I've been getting started with it, and I know that you don't care, and you're not gonna do it. But maybe you will. But
I don't know.
anyways,
I'm
that's what
sorry.
we've been working on.
I don't understand why you just said that. I just said like I made a video of myself, like I would have posted it onto YouTube. I couldn't. Then I tried to send it to my mother. It was like a half an hour video of me trying to like say like this is what happened. So why are you saying? And then I said I looked at YouTube videos to kind of look into it more. So like why are you saying I'm not doing it?
Well, because you're not gonna do it. You did a private video, whatever. You don't care. Anyways, it's fine. Um,
All right.
Oh boy, here we are. Third stream from the Dorbs, and I'm already new. Not that I knew, but I knew a little bit about Courtney, right? I knew that Courtney was a major character early on within the Dorbs. She still is a less of a major character, but more of like a character they reference all the time or every other time, right? Every time there's a struggle session between Benny and Grace, it's always you're like your mother or you act like your mother, and Grace is always, like I always feel like I'm like my mom. And now watching them both interact, all that came to mind is they both have a lot of issues. They have a number of issues. They have daddy issues. They have mommy issues. They have so many issues within them. And I can understand if you're watching the Doors for the first time and think like, what the heck is going on? This is a very dysfunctional family. Truthfully, it is very dysfunctional as I was watching through the stream. Now, mind you, this stream is 6 hours, and hopefully I can remember to get everything out edited by Sunday for the project we've been working on, or the archive I've been on. And I'm still going to go through other streams, and hopefully by Monday we can get back to streaming the Dorbs as always. But yeah, here this is sort of my first real introduction of Courtney. I've seen clips of Courtney, I've seen other stuff from Courtney, but this is my real first introduction to Courtney, the mother of Grace Thorpe and the once loving wife, I guess, Ben Thorpe. Now, as I was watching this, I had a lot of people telling me, like, kind of updating me about this whole situation. When I mean updating, I mean they were just telling me about filling in the information that needed to be filled in because I'm not too well versed with when it comes to Courtney, only from what I've heard. So let's continue because this was a doozy.
but what? Why? Is this what I'm saying? She may have the regime on her side, but the people who are like Michael Knowles, I think, should say to her, he should tell her the truth. And he does push back a little bit here, but he, like, okay, she may not know what she's doing, but like, even I think to be loving, you would say, like, seriously, you should be stopped from doing this. And if I have to stop you by calling you a, like, which is what you are, a baby murdering evil woman, like, wake up. Right. You're in a fantasy world because your mom was angry and now you're angry at men for, or angry at society for not letting women kill children. You're so, like, it's so many layers of anger that you've convinced yourself that this makes sense.
Well, she's using like polite society, you know, like basically she's just using that as another tool in her tool belt to murder kids.
She's using the fact that, like, that this, well, it's the Enlightenment thing, right? Like, everybody has a seat at the table. No. Do you want to? I had a fun time telling my stories.
Do you want to wrap it up?
A little break.
Because, you know, it's getting kind of late.
I'm just taking a little break here.
Some people like the mom joke.
Yeah, there you go.
Thanks. You know, that was funny. Let Courtney laugh. 5 jokes per stream. Okay, I don't think I got up to that point. I think I might have made 2. Grace really hates them, so I think I'm going to stay away from them. But,
well, I
get it. I get it. You don't have to explain it. You don't have to explain it. I get why you hate it.
It's not that I don't like you pointing out that I'm smoking. It's just that, whatever.
It was a stupid joke. Okay, yeah. And it's like, you can't stand when I make jokes and I shouldn't do it.
All right, well, what do you think about this?
Vows are not a one and done. Yeah, it's just piggybacking on his other comment, that vows are something you freely kind of commit to every day of a marriage. So, yes, they're not one and done.
Well, would you say as a married woman, like, or somebody who thought she was married or whatever?
And here we have sort of the building up attention between Grace and Courtney. Now, throughout this stream, there was a lot of, how can I say, a lot of dogpiling from Grace to Courtney. Now, as I said before, I don't know entirely their relationship, and I want to lead that I explore their archive, their history, so on and so on. I want to at least try to build a better perspective on this right now. I've been told that my perspective will change as things continue, and I do agree with that. That is something that I already admitted, I believe, by the second and third stream, that my opinion and my perspective on things are going to change as I go through these streams, make these videos. And I think it is very important to take that into mind. If I do say something that is a little, let's say, different, or that I'm not a privy to, or stuff of that matter, I do apologize, as I'm going through these one at a time. And, you know, it doesn't help that I'm also covering the Dorps at the same time they're going live currently. So a lot of my opinion will be in and out, changing a lot. But here, yeah, I could kind of tell that, yeah, the relationship between Courtney and Grace is not the best, and it always seemed tenuous. I've been told, or at least from what I've heard, is that one of the main reasons that their relationship is like this is, on one side, it has to do with Ben. On the other side, it has to do with Courtney more or less emotionally abandoning her kids. It's either, no matter what you do, that's kind of messed up, right? Like, all right, yeah, I can understand that. I gotta say, I can understand that in the case of Grace, who needed an emotional crutch, Ben may be the only other option because probably she's not good at making friends. But when you look at someone like Courtney, kind of just straight up abandoning her kids emotionally, it's not a good thing. Now, I'm not sure why that happened. I'm not sure exactly when that happened. Grace said that happened when she was around a teenager or a young kid, right before they started the Ethiopian store, which won't be brought into more and more until later on these streams. And we won't really get a set of answers until really the Mark Fusion interview, which I already did a video on, hopefully, if I remember. So, yeah, let's continue.
Yourself pregnant in a way that doesn't make sense. It's not like a fit of passion. It's like, well, whatever. I don't want to know the details, but whatever. But I don't think a child is a good reason to get married. No,
I don't.
because
Yeah.
you're gonna blame that kid for your marital problems. Like, it doesn't always make sense, right? I mean, I
Yeah.
just like you shouldn't feel pressured at all to
Yeah.
get married to
That's
somebody.
right. That's what I was.
And if
Yeah.
the kid is there, that's pressure, and you should be a good parent, but not, and it doesn't necessarily mean you should get married. There should be no pressure within marriage.
So then, like, the idea would be that, like, I got pregnant wanting to, I don't know, like, I got pregnant to catch him. Then I played a game of saying, like, I don't want to get married. I'm not sure. I want to make sure. And then, like, when I finally was, like, good and ready, like, the game was over, then, like, then I went forward with my, like, kind of, like, I guess, unconscious plan. Yeah, okay.
Well, isn't there a thing, like, you know that guy we were talking to today on Discord?
Yeah.
Well,
Here we are. From what I understand, between the marriage between Ben and Courtney is that it was always tenuous. One of the main reasons they got together was because Ben wanted something and Courtney wanted something. Now it looks like that Courtney has some type of baby fever, right? If you ever heard that word baby fever, it usually means when a girl is just she wants a baby, she wants to get preggo, and she usually bang any guy or at least one guy at least to get that fulfillment, right? As I've seen it before. But let's not really talk about that. And from what I understand, like, Ben was at a Catholic school where there's really nobody there, and they hooked up, and which resulted in them kind of getting married, what I would at least call wedlock, right? But you get married because you get the girl pregnant, and now, well, there's nothing you could do but fulfill your role as a man and just be there. And I feel like they're the underlying tension that's there, right? Where clearly, uh, Ben did something he shouldn't have done. Courtney has did something that she wanted to be done, but now probably regrets it. And like, well, she got prego. Doesn't help that they're in a religious school where obviously they're gonna start asking that question, right? Um, you know, and it's just not going to turn out well, right? They, later on they mentioned that like, oh, a lot of people were uh, questioning her stomach being big. She said she was wearing multiple layers of blazers to hide the belly after a couple months until they got confronted by one of the administration people. And I believe this is resulted in them either getting fired or something else. I don't really remember. I think Ben explains it or Courtney explains it later on. And it's kind of you can tell that their marital issues were rough, and I think in a way, I guess at least in Grace's mind, I think Grace sees it as some type of like punishment on her. Well, you got married to my dad, and just because you got pregnant with me, and like there's some type of weird resentment. But let's keep moving on because then we get into John, and John is there, or I think something they call him Jerome, right? John, Jerome, whatever, is Grace's younger brother, the second oldest, I believe. And yeah. And later on, Spicoli comes in. They kind of dogpile him because of reasons.
Courtney is my bae, right? Exactly.
I'm
You
way
like
more emotionally mature than you, even though I'm your younger brother. And I am very happy with myself right now.
Well, how about this, John? You can tell Hormaxer what you think. Why don't we do a little bit of a lingerie? We'll react to a lingerie fashion show, and you can tell them. You can tell Hormaxer what you
Okay.
find.
And look at Dad's comment. He says ... or his cat. Yes, I would like a woman who acts like my cat. Just quiet.
So a whore who gets herself pregnant.
Confident in herself. Just
a dirty whore who gets herself pregnant in one night. Look at you!
That cat is not a particularly nice cat.
You are a slut. Indeed, a slutty
She's got
slut.
mental issues.
little.
All right.
No, not the meowing. Kevin says you'll be mature when your mom doesn't give you anxiety. Well,
My
that's
mom
why
doesn't
you
give
need a
me
mature
anxi-
woman.
Okay. My mom doesn't give me anxiety. Doesn't mean there's something wrong with me. I mean, maybe there is to you, but I don't think there's anything wrong with me.
I mean, part of me says that John's just saying
Well, I
this,
like watching
just to
attractive men.
He's just being
Oh, I like
contrarian.
watching
Like, I don't
attractive
even.
women as well, but I don't like watching lingerie shows. That's kind of gross. Like watching a lingerie show on my free time, that would be gross. Like watching this on my free time, do you think that would be normal? And like make me more of a man?
don't
No,
know.
I wouldn't suggest you watch this on your free time,
Well,
but with your.
what do you want me to do? Say, oh, I like the way her ass is jiggling while she's walking.
Why not, John? Like,
You
instead of
always
just
turn
being,
it into.
Instead of
Alright.
just being a
All their bodies
complete
attractive. I don't care.
John, instead of being a complete contrarian, like, why don't you just say, like, instead of just saying, like, no, 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 like, I know that.
Well, okay, I'm not saying no, no, no. I'm saying I find all of their bodies attractive. I don't care. Like, that's what I'm saying. I don't care about their bodies that much. I don't really have a huge preference.
Okay, but like, would you like? You could say like.
So here we have John, and as I said, this is my first real introduction to John and who he is as a person. Now here they kind of pressing him on and on about his interest in women, how he feels about that. And truthfully, as I said in my stream, if I was in a situation like this, I would not be comfortable. Only because, like, you're looking at these women, you're looking at their bodies with your family, and a lot of guys would feel very uncomfortable, especially if they're females. So let's say your mom, your sister, your aunt, you will feel very uncomfortable. It's just a natural response because, like, they're pressing on some weird stuff that kind of is like, I don't like this conversation. If it's your brother, I guess it would be perfectly fine because you're talking about women. Obviously, unless your brother doesn't swing that way, then it is what it is. But even still, later on, they have Spicoli, and it sort of turns into a dog pile on John, and even straight up questioning his sexuality, his interest in taste in women, which I'm like, who kind of cares? I mean, it doesn't help that you're doing this on live, right? You're doing this on live, you're doing this while everybody's watching you. It doesn't, it doesn't probably help that that's going on. That this is happening live front, even if it's only just like, let's say, like 20 or 30 people or even 10 people, it still feels very uncomfortable. And then obviously the chat is also kind of jumping on him on top of that, and it just doesn't help. And then your dad, who's probably in a whole different room, it's probably also kind of laughing at you on top of that. So yeah, I would feel extremely uncomfortable as well. Let's move on though. One more clip.
Like he's just flirting around.
I have
What's
autism.
the problem?
She is 19. It's not like she's 15. Or
I'm
anything.
20.
She's 20. Come on, she's a woman.
Right. He can flirt with me all he wants.
All right, John. What
Why
about
you find it disgusting
these
for a man to
gals?
flirt with a woman?
They're pretty good, right? It's a little bit of a 80s thing going on there.
You want me to tell you if I think
I don't
they're
know.
pretty
Is like that? Is that your type more? I guess I'm just saying, like that kind of look.
good? I don't. I'm not answering.
All right.
He doesn't have a look.
He does.
I think it's fine.
I don't think it's
it's
fair to
fine.
say he
Fuck
doesn't
any,
have.
you'll anything that comes through your path, you old loser.
Anything.
Yeah, you'd
I find
fuck a
80%.
guy, you'd fuck a tranny. If they
I
were
find
so sweet to
80% of
you.
all women under too fat. Most women. Most women are too fat for me. I've got.
Yeah. Even Spicoli back then was still the same as always. Now, with this being said, this is where we're gonna end the video. But yeah, you can kind of tell that the dogpiling on John is, very clear. It's a very clear issue. John getting dogpiled was very obvious. And you could kind of tell that he was becoming more uncomfortable, and then eventually Courtney left because she was crying. She couldn't handle it. Which resulted for like the next 30 to an hour of just Grace talking to Spicoli about the family life. He was probably jerking it off as he was talking to her. And, also the whole thing about Spicoli hitting on a young 19 I mean, now, obviously, if you ask them how they feel about Spicoli after his Maggie comment, they're not going to be, obviously, they're going to be like, nope, nope, nope. But probably before that, they would have said something completely different. It's interesting to see how things can change within years, or a matter of one comment can just change. But we do have a long journey ahead of us. This journey, it's gonna be a long one. So stick around, ladies and gentlemen, for more to come. Till next time, as always, God bless.